Hey everyone, I'm Brian Rosa, and welcome back to Rosa's Trains. It is December of 2023, and this is going to be my final video for that year. For those of you who are unaware, I published the Rosa's Trains 10-year timeline last summer as part of its 10th anniversary. I also announced that there was going to be a special commemorative video for that occasion, and this is what you're watching. Now, since I already uploaded the timeline, I'm not going to mention all of its history points for this video, but I will talk about what's going to happen for the next 10 years, at least on behalf of Rosa's Trains. Besides, I am amazed to say that as of 2024, I have been a YouTube user for 15 years. That's 15 years. Unbelievable. If you view the timeline, you'll know why. I've had so many things going on since this past summer. First of all, I established my Patreon page so that you can make a donation to support Rosa's Trains while enjoying the benefits I'm offering. Of course, this is not without uncertainty, as some of you cannot afford to do so, in part because of such economic circumstances as inflation. Almost all prices have substantially gone up, and model trains are no exception. A lot of people complained about the rising costs of trains, but there are a couple of things we should all keep in mind. One, model railroading is an expensive hobby, regardless of sizes, such as O gauge, HO scale, and so forth. It's a very specialized pastime that requires unique and precise manufacturing skills, including research and development, designing a model, and assembling intricate details to make the trains as realistic as possible. Basically, labor makes up a significant part of the price tag. Adding to the cost of those products is a limited number of customers, because they make up only a small percentage of the entire population, especially in the United States. For that reason, the model train industry is considered a niche market. And two, just because of the recent inflation happening doesn't always mean trains are no longer affordable. While some of you may not afford certain types of trains, there are plenty of less expensive, budget-friendly products. Although there is probably no way to stop inflation forever, we do want to slow down the inflation rate. Depending on what jobs we do, we hope to have our salaries increased, which could possibly mean more disposable income. Therefore, model trains can still be as affordable as they were in the past several years. With that being said, you're probably going to ask me whether I'm able to buy more trains for myself. Well, I'm not trying to say no, but I can't answer yes either. This time around, I would more likely purchase a few used trains, as they are naturally cheaper than the new ones, though I have some other costs to deal with, such as my website services, my online memberships, etc. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with what I have in my collection. So this is one of the reasons I encourage you to support Rosa's Trains on Patreon. The lowest tier available on this site is $1 a month, or $12 a year. These days, $12 is not that much money for many of you, considering that I ask for only that amount in 1 year. Whether you're choosing to join the low tier, the middle tier, or the high tier, much of the funding will go to my future opportunities to keep the hobby alive. And that includes buying more trains, be they old or new. I already made a video covering the details on my Patreon page, so you can learn more about them. However, I've since decided to add a couple of extra benefits. The first is early access to my latest YouTube videos. If you're willing to become a patron of Rosa's Trains, you'll be able to not only watch my new videos earlier than the public, but also to send me feedback in case I made any serious errors on them. Making videos is generally a lot of work, and I sometimes could make some mistakes that I might be unaware of without your feedback. Of course, no video is perfect, but nonetheless, I encourage you to send me your thoughts on my progress. If necessary, I can remake a better video before publishing it on YouTube. Early access is available on all 3 tiers, so you can use this benefit on any membership level that suits your budget. The other benefit I'm going to add is free shipping for all free train giveaways. Specifically, if you're a randomly selected winner of a prize, you will receive free standard or expedite shipping, depending on your level of membership. For this purpose, I will be providing 2 delivery options via the U.S. Postal Service, Ground Advantage for the low and middle tiers, and Priority Mail for the highest tier only. No matter which membership you prefer, both of these shipping rates will absolutely be free. I promise you, there will be no extra charge to a train you might win someday. Again, please check out my other video to learn more about the Patreon details. And as always, the Patreon link is in the description of this video you're watching. Additionally, I would like to consider monetizing my YouTube channel, in which the platform will pay me some of its revenue from advertisements that are displayed on any of my videos. But there are some eligibility requirements that must be met, and one of them is the minimum subscriber count. So if you're new to my channel, I invite you to simply click the subscribe button, and you will see what is up next from the Rosa's trains. The next major topic I'd like to announce is something I didn't mention in the first place. I am officially a member of the National Capital Trackers, an O-Gauge club that participates in multiple train shows in Maryland, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. As some of you know, I used to upload videos of the Rockville Lions Club show that I visited every year since 2015. Earlier this year, I initially considered volunteering at that show by presenting some of my train DVDs with a laptop computer. However, I realized that helping the Capital Trackers with assembling and disassembling their layout would be a better idea. So I ultimately decided to join the club, and they successfully received my application and payment by early October of 2023. I was very excited to bring my trains and run them on the layout, especially at the Rockville show. But this was actually not the first show I volunteered at, because the very first event I attended as a new member took place at the National Capital Trolley Museum in Colesville, Maryland. Just after confirming my membership, the club emailed me about the museum, which is not too far away from my house. The event was a week after my first club email, so I agreed to help set up the layout on the day before the show. The show lasted for 2 days, and I attended both times. On the second and final day, I helped out with the disassembly of the layout. Overall, the Trolley Museum had a pretty high visitor turnout, and the Capital Tracker show was indeed a grand success. Now let's talk about the Lions Club train show, which took place at the Rockville Senior Center for 2 days, specifically on Veterans Day weekend. Again, I helped the other trackers to assemble the layout on the night before this event. Then I brought one train for each show, and finally I worked with others on dismantling the layout when it was over. Unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to record any videos at the Lions Club show this year, but I did shoot some photos and videos at the Trolley Museum. I will try to upload these as soon as I can. In both of these events, I was busy unboxing my trains to run them and packing them up afterwards, but it was nonetheless a lot of fun. Earlier this month, the third train show I volunteered at was located at an aviation museum in College Park, Maryland. In fact, my sister graduated from the University of Maryland in that area, and that's one of the reasons I was interested in the next show. On the setup date, I chose to take the bus and metro all the way to College Park, but I knew that it would be too difficult to bring my model trains by public transportation when the show began. I don't normally intend to post my personal life stories, but I honestly do not drive and have no license to do so. Needless to say, driving is serious business, and there are so many stupid drivers everywhere. Interestingly, though, the show's supervisor, named George, lives in Damascus, Maryland, my hometown, and he was kind enough to drive me and my trains to College Park on the second day of the show. I was unable to attend the first. Then, my dad drove me as well as my mom on the third and final day. Adding to the family gathering were my sister and her husband, and we all had a great time at the museum. As a capital tracker, my goal for 2024 is to participate in a fair number of shows that are not too far from where I live, mostly in Maryland and DC. The last topic I'm going to discuss is what videos I'll be uploading in the new year. I've decided to make the next video about the types of locomotive paint schemes. It's hard to distinguish between numerous railroads without color. More details about it later. I will also do some other locomotive rankings from least to most powerful. I previously done the horsepower comparison charts as blog posts on both the Rosa's Trains website and its Facebook page. Eventually, I need to do one more chart, which will cover diesel locomotives built by Fairbanks Morse. Then, I will identify the top 3 most powerful models of that brand, only in written format. One of the reasons I've been writing more blog posts than uploading videos is that the latter can take up a lot of storage space in my computer, typically around a few gigabytes or so. It usually depends on the running time and picture quality. However, I do have at least one external hard drive to back up as many files as possible. That would be very important in the event of YouTube terminating my channel. No, I strongly believe it should not happen. Although I have a few videos containing copyrighted audio, which was automatically detected, but it's a minor issue. So far, there's no severe impact on my channel. With the addition of the early access benefit to my Patreon page, I become more motivated to produce videos on a regular basis. Alright, that's about all the announcements I have for 2024. Now, I originally thought about uploading this video before Christmas, but things were pretty busy and to some extent stressful. On a depressing note, I was sad to hear that we could not visit my sister and her husband on Christmas Day this year because the latter was tested positive for the coronavirus, and I was sure that the former would also be infected. It's inevitable that we can still feel sick from COVID, although the vaccine has effectively saved most of our lives in the past 2 years. But nevertheless, we hope that the couple will feel better as soon as possible. Despite my loneliness, there is no good time to lose hope. Chances are the new year may become more prosperous than before, especially with the model train industry. As I said, when prices go up, we like to have our salaries increased from virtually every job we do. By the way, the main Christmas present I've just received in 2023 is a brand new high-definition Canon EOS Rebel T7 camera. Last year, the attempted replacement for my old Canon PowerShot camera was a $150 Vivitar camcorder, which did not successfully produce HD by any means. As for the Rebel camera, on the other hand, I haven't had the time to test it yet, but I am super excited to try it out soon. I will definitely upload my first video filmed by this camera in the new year. If you'd like to support Rosa's Trains, I would greatly appreciate it. That can be done through my Patreon page at patreon.com/LaRosasTrains. Patrons will receive all kinds of benefits, which are explained directly on this page. Link in the description. Your donation, regardless of its amount, is essential not only to me, but to the future of Rosa's Trains. Anyway, I hope you liked this video, and be sure to click the subscribe button to follow my YouTube channel. So, that concludes the final video of 2023. Thanks for watching. Hope you've all had a happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everyone, and I will see you all again in 2024. Goodbye.